Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, and if you read comics, you know that can mean only one thing. It's New Comic Book Day, the best day of the week. So we are here in Midtown Comics Times Square to show you what this latest edition of New Comic Book Day has to offer. But before we get into that, I have to point out, here at Midtown Comics Times Square, as well as the other shops, Grand Central, downtown, and even online, if you've seen Suicide Squad, no matter how you feel about it, if you're interested in the characters, please know we have plenty of comics for you to read. As you can see here, we have a bunch of collections. The New 52 run, the second New Suicide Squad, that was the second volume, I think, in the New 52. And then we have a Harley Quinn collection, even more Harley Quinn collections. And down there we have Justice League Dark, recently announced that will be an animated movie, which actually features the return of Matt Ryan as Constantine. That's pretty cool. And also Secret Six is down there, which is a terrific run. If you have not read that, please do so. Also, we have plenty of copies of Flashpoint. If you watch The Flash on the CW, which you should, because it's really, really good, you should do your homework. Odds are it won't be a direct adaptation, of course, but it will pull inspiration from this story, so you can see where they, are being inspired by and what elements they pull from it, how they make changes. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Also, animated movie came out recently of The Killing Joke. We have plenty of copies of that available. Now that I'm done being shameless about our collections, let's go over to the new release wall and see what we have to offer. So first up, it's Dark Horse. As you can see there, new House of Penance. Sci-fi fans out there, new issue of Prometheus, House of Penance. It's a good horror book from Peter J. Tomasi, Ian Bertram, Dave Stewart. And then we get into today's heavy hitter from DC. All-Star Batman #1 features the return of Scott Snyder to Batman's world. He's joined by John Romita Jr., as well as, I believe, Dean White and Danny Mickey. And there's even a backup story where the visual team is Declan Shalvey and Jordi Belair. As you can see, we have quite a few covers. This is the primary cover by John Romita Jr. Then we have a great cover by Jock. I love that cover. Then we have another one by Declan Shalvey, a second by John Romita Jr., and then we happen to have an exclusive cover just at Midtown. It's by Tyler Kirkham. We have a color and a black and white. And for those of you who love to go to signings and conventions, of course there's a blank variant, so you can get whatever you want on there. Obviously many of you are going to read this book regardless of checking out a preview. But let's take a look at it anyway, just in case some of you aren't sold on it yet, or you just want to get a little bit of a look. I believe that's Killer Moth and Firefly. Oh, yep, there we go. Killer Moth and Firefly, it says down there. We'll just get one more page for you. As you can see, it literally flies right into the action. I've read this issue, it's action-packed, it's off to a really good start. And tonight, I'm probably going to have an interview with Scott Snyder about it as well. I'll keep it spoiler-free, so definitely be on the lookout for that on the Midtown Comics podcast. Let's see what else DC has to offer. We have new Detective Comics. Some of you out there are probably thinking there's way too much Batman, and I love Batman, but that's understandable. However, in this case, it focuses on the supporting cast. You can see Spoiler, Cassandra Cain, Clayface. Let's take a quick look at it. It's one of my favorite titles from Rebirth so far. Haven't read the last issue, but so far it's really, really good. Oh, Batwoman, of course. How can I forget Batwoman? Shame on me. We'll look at one more page to hopefully sell some of you on it. Alright, so let's put that back. And then we get into another Bat Family related title. In this case, Red Hood and the Outlaws #1. The Rebirth issue was a great reintroduction to the character. I believe that's a Matteo Scalera variant. I may be wrong there, but I love that artist. In this case, he is joined by an Amazon named Artemis and Bizarro, but this issue primarily revolves around Jason Todd. So for all the Red Hood fans out there, definitely pick up Rebirth #1 as well as #1. Both have been very good so far. Then we get into one of my favorite villains, or anti-villains, depends on how you view them, in the DC universe, Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. The reason I'm excited for this is the writer, Christopher Priest. When we went to the Rebirth Retailer Roadshow, they described it as a thinking man's Deathstroke, which is good. Doesn't mean it's just mindless action and That's always fun, but you got to get the tactical side of Deathstroke as well. And based on what I've read so far, it's definitely off to a promising start. And of course, Deathstroke has quite a family history, and this goes into that just a little bit. It's off to a good start. Again, that's his first Rebirth issue, so if you're interested in Deathstroke, you want to know more about him, give it a shot. Then let's quickly go down everything else that DC has to offer, just so we can take a look at the whole wall. Earth 2 Society, new chapter of The Flash, which has been fun. If you're watching the show, please do yourself a favor, give that a shot. I'll give you a quick preview, just to try to sell you on some of it. Because seriously, if you're loving the movies and TV shows, you gotta see where this all comes from. Just one more page. Alright. Moving on, we have a new chapter of the Flintstones. DC's been essentially rebooting a bunch of Hanna-Barbera properties. Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. A reprint of Justice League Rebirth #1, so if you missed out on it, here's you have another shot. And then if you did see Suicide Squad, you're interested in the characters, this is this one has 2 stories in it, one focusing on El Diablo, one focusing on Captain Boomerang. Let's give a quick preview of it for you. So it goes right into the Suicide Squad in action. So Diablo, one more page. Then let me flip to the back. Don't want to spoil anything for you guys. Okay, and then as you can see, Captain Boomerang, of course, gets more attention. So focuses on these 2, so if you're interested in them, check it out. And then, oh, look at this awesome cover by Gary Frank. I'm pretty sure it's Gary Frank. Has to be. For Action Comics, which has also been really, really good. It's living up to the name. It's just been non-stop action so far, posing a lot of interesting mysteries. And I've been having a blast reading it. Let's take a look. First of all, just take a second to appreciate that cover. Speaking of covers, every Monday on the blog, when the employee is here, Enrique Verona, he highlights some of his favorite covers that come out each and every week. It's on the blog. That's blog.midtowncomics.com. He's been doing an awesome job every week, taking a look at 5 or so covers. It's just a fun way to give the artists, colorists, and inkers some extra love. Let's take a look at one more page. Doomsday clashing with Wonder Woman. How can you not want to read the next page? Okay, fine. Some of you may not want to, but I want to. Let's move on. Put that there. New Superman. That's a really good series so far. I'm excited to check out the 2nd issue. Superwoman. Phil Jimenez. I think I butchered his last name there. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a new series. Lois Lane with powers. Let's take a quick look. Lana Lang and then Lois. Why does she have powers? What's she going to do with them? How does this affect everyone else? We'll have to read to find out. That was read bait as opposed to clickbait. Alright, now we have a new chapter, Wonder Woman. Let's give a preview of that. One more page. Alright, so let's keep... Oh, actually up here we have new trades from DC. Again, if you're interested in the characters in Suicide Squad, here is Harley Quinn teaming up with Deathstroke. Well, teaming up has quotes around it. Obviously, they're not best friends. Yeah. And then we have Batman and Superman, hardcover, and the trade paperback. And the look at old school Batman. Down here, Dark Horse. We have Hellboy, and the new Angel and Faith collection. Alright, so let's move outside of DC now and check out what everything else has to offer. We have IDW here, and then we get into Image. We have, I believe, Titan down here with Doctor Who for the Doctor Who fans out there. So let's just fast forward right to Image. We have a brand new title here. The Black Monday Murders, Jonathan Hickman, and I believe Tom Coker. It's a brand new Image series, first issue. Jonathan Hickman. You probably know him from Fantastic Four, Secret Wars, plenty of other Marvel work. Okay, don't want to give away too much. So let's put that back. Birthright. So let's continue to go down the wall, get a quick look at everything. It's okay. This is one of my favorite spreads. Best way to describe it, what if the Thing won and essentially took over North America? It's a very creepy horror book. Justin Jordan, Felipe Sobrero is the colorist. And, oh man, I'm forgetting the name of the artist who's usually on it, and I'm so sorry. Oh, Kyle Strahan, I believe. This one has a different art, so. Then we move into Marvel, but before we do that, we have some extra DC collections up here. We have The Flash, Supergirl, movie novelization of Suicide Squad, Earth 1 Volume 2 of Teen Titans, which is an alternate take on them. Now check this out over here. Why the Last Man, Book 5. Often regarded as one of the must-read comic book series. And then we have a few indie trades over here. Injection, Warren Ellis, Declan Shalvey, Jordi Belair, Invisible Republic, Starve. Alright, so let's go down here now and take a look at everything Marvel has to offer. As you may not know, Civil War II is currently dividing the Marvel Universe. Basically, there's an Inhuman who can predict the future, or at least allegedly can predict bad things that'll happen. Captain Marvel thinks they should use this to their advantage and stop terrible things before they occur. Iron Man says, no way, we shouldn't stop someone before they've even thought about committing a crime. Obviously, it's a big moral dilemma. The heroes are very divided on it. That's the big thing going on right now in the Marvel U, in case you've been missing out on it. As you can see, there's a lot of tie-ins. New issue of Black Panther. Such a good variant cover. You know, let's give you a preview of it and a closer look at the awesome variant. It's Assad Ribic. Alright, let's take a look at the inside. As you can see, a lot of comics. If you missed out, they give you usually adequate introduction pages, so everything should serve as a good jumping on point. Shows you who's who, tells you what you've missed. Let's take a look at a few more pages. And one more page. We don't want to give away too much. Alright. So this is obviously one of Marvel's biggest titles. Really made me happy to see that so many people fell in love with the character after seeing Captain America Civil War. And now this new series has brought in so many new readers. Hopefully many of them have decided to stick with the title, and hopefully they'll explore some other options. As you can see, quite a few covers for Black Panther. Then we get into, I believe these are reprints of Civil War II, Chapter 3. Then we have The Accused, number 1. This is, I don't want to spoil it, just in case if you've been out of the loop with Civil War II, but something really big happened recently, and now there's a lot of debate about it. I don't want to spoil what happened, but this is going to further explore that. Then we have a new issue of Daredevil, Charles Soule and Ron Garney. Let me give you a quick preview of that, because obviously the Netflix show has made a few new few new Daredevil fans. And this is a really good series so far. Hopefully this will motivate some of you to give it a shot while you wait for Luke Cage, which is, I believe, in September. And we have a new issue of Deadpool and the Mercs for Money. Okay, you know, there's a few Deadpool fans out there. I'm one of them, so let's take a quick look at it. Basically, Deadpool has his own team of mercenaries. Unlike him, though, they do not have accelerated healing factors, so it makes things a little more dangerous for them. And a few of the characters are actually going to get their own spin-off series. Maybe a limited series, but still pretty cool that they're going to flesh out Solo, some of the other characters. Radioactive Man. And the action begins, and I don't want to spoil the fun. New issue of Mark Millar and Stuart Immonen's Empress. This has been a really fast-paced sci-fi adventure. The reason I'm going to... Well, you know what? Let me give you a quick preview first. And then in the end, I'll show you something, guys, a little cool. Well, it's cool for us. Kind of bragging. Alright. Alright, so let's go to the end without spoiling anything. So we had Mark Millar in here recently for a signing. And if you go to the back of the issue, we're in there. Yay. And in case you're wondering, that's the man holding the camera right now, John. He's our digital marketing manager. So that's pretty cool. I made an appearance in a comic. Not as a comic book character, but it's pretty cool. I'm happy about that. Alright, new chapter of the Scarlet Witch. Really cool cover with Quicksilver. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you're waiting for the new episodes. Good way to kill some time. Of course, Spidey. Can't have a Marvel universe without Spider-Man. Or at least a version of Spider-Man. And his supporting cast continues to grow, and there are several Spidey spin-off titles. So if you're interested in the webhead and characters who surround him, there are quite a few options for you right now. Alright, don't want to ruin anything, so let's put that back. Great cover. And then, if you like Spider-Man and Deadpool, well, that happens to be a team-up title going on right now. As you can see, we have reprints of a lot of the issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 7. Or maybe I just don't know how to count up to 7. But here we have issue number 8, brand new issue. Cool Black Panther variant by Trad Moore, I believe. Let's take a quick look at this for all the Spidey and Merc with Mouth fans out there. This has been really entertaining, of course. It's Joe Kelly. Many people may regard him as the best Deadpool writer out there. It's also McGinnis doing the artwork. So it definitely brings back memories of Joe Kelly's original issues. Again, don't want to spoil all the fun, so let's put that back. Love this cover by Mike Del Mundo. It's a reprint of an older issue, but still, it's awesome. Again, speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099. And then, as I'm sure many of you know, Disney and Marvel has the rights to Star Wars. So, they've been doing a lot of great Star Wars comics. Let's take a look at those real quick. You know, I'll show you one of them. So Darth Vader, number 24. This is a variant cover. For all the Vader fans out there, let's take a quick look at this. No, that is not Doctor Strange. You were the chosen one. That's what happens when you mess with someone who has the high ground. Although he learned his lesson in Return of the Jedi, didn't he? Just decided to throw his lightsaber at someone who had the high ground. Alright, and then we have the critically acclaimed Vision. There's a new chapter there. Let's give you a super quick look. Hopefully there are a few new Vision fans after Age of Ultron and Civil War. Loved seeing him in a sweater in Civil War. Alright, let's put that back. We have reached my favorite Marvel comic, Old Man Logan. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, Marcelo Maiello. I'm going to give you a quick preview of it. Hopefully it sells you on it as well, because I am loving this series, and it should really be selling as many copies as possible. I don't say that just because I work here. I say it because I love the comic. It's a great creative team. We'll just show one more page, okay? Really talented art team, joining forces with a really talented writer. Obviously, great things are going to happen. If you're a DC fan, hopefully you read their Green Arrow run. Alright, and then all new X-Men. Really good cover there. Mark Bagley, I believe. Of Angel and current Wolverine, X-23, Laura Kinney. Let's show you a few pages there. And I believe there's a new issue of All New Wolverine next week. So if you are interested in Wolverine or X-23, it's a new chapter next Wednesday. And we likely have all the other ones available, either in the back issues or floating around somewhere around here. Okay, one more page. now we are going to take a second to go to one of Midtown Comics Times Square's employees. Victor, what have you read this week?
I checked out the Black Monday Murders.
Okay, what'd you think?
This week. Typical Hickman. You don't really know what's going on. I like the premise. Conspiracies within the financial system, like on Wall Street, like black magic, and it's like everybody is in on it. I'm liking it a lot so far. It's typical Hickman. That, and then also there's a Labyrinth 30th anniversary special. Anyone that's a fan of the movie, it's the 30th anniversary this year. There's
Where's that located? Because we have a Mike Allred cover, right?
I don't think so.
Get a quick look at that.
Basically, we have these two. You got your regular and then your variants. It's basically just a collection of, it's basically like a one-shot with a collection of stories that take place within the film's universe, maybe some backstory on some characters that you might have loved from the film, and it's just another one of Archaea's just, they do really good Jim Henson adaptations. They've done Dark Crystal, they do the Storyteller. We had a lot of fans come in just looking for everything we have for Jim Henson.
Aren't there also a few new Valiant issues today? I didn't spot them on the top row.
No, yeah, we do. We have Ninjak.
Ninjak, okay.
Is new this week. Continuing the brand new start of the storyline, Fist of Steel with him and the Tauren Warrior.
Being as careful as I can there with the cover. All right, let's give Valiant some love because they're doing some great stuff. Ninjak, really exciting title. Do you have a favorite Valiant title?
Ninjak is actually really good. I'm also a fan of anything that they put the Eternal Warrior in.
Okay.
And Divinity. Divinity, I think, is one of their best books. The sequel just wrapped up. I'm excited for the third one.
Speaking of Eternal Warrior.
Speak of the devil.
All right, cool. Thank you very much.
No problem, guys.
All right, well, that is the latest edition of New Comic Book Day here in Midtown Comics Times Square. Hopefully you stop by, check out a new comic, follow a series you're already loving. And for everyone else who's watching the TV shows and the movies, hopefully this has motivated you to give a comic a shot. Once again, we have so many collections over here, everything Marvel, DC, Image, Valiant, IDW, the list goes on and on. There are a lot of stories to choose from. Our staff here, as you just saw from Victor, very knowledgeable, very friendly. Feel free to stop by. They will always help you out and find the right comic for you. So that's it for this week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.